It utterly lacked any of the dynamism we enjoy in the West. It collapsed for a variety of reasons, financial and human aspirations, key among them. Today, it's widely accepted around most of the world that, generally, market forces will create a more efficient economic system than the government can through top-down management. A laissez-faire government works best. The extreme opposite to the laissez-faire style government, the Soviet economy, was a brute force, execute the planned system. More, bigger, faster. The metric that mattered was quantity of output. The state enforced output via its power. It was a dull, dehumanizing approach. As a contrast, it's not difficult to look across the broad spectrum of goods and services that comprise markets today to recognize the extraordinary success of capitalism. Take the astonishing number of jobs created. In 2019 alone, the United States logged more than 2.09 million jobs, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's about 239 jobs for every hour of every day. The number of small businesses, those with fewer than 500 employees, is equally jaw-dropping at 30.7 million, accounting for 99% of all businesses, per the U.S. Small Business Administration. Granted, these numbers are robust by any measure, and while the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in a dramatic shift in these stats for 2020, they nonetheless speak to the power of American hard work, innovation, entrepreneurship, and value creation. All qualities our system rewards. I lived through the dot-com boom and bust of the late 1990s and early 2000s, and back in my startup days, I remember getting a tour of a manufacturing facility. I was amazed by the sheer size and sophistication of the machines used to make other machines. Skynet from James Cameron's Terminator movies comes to mind, but nonetheless, it was awe-inspiring. When I travel to great port cities around the globe, I'm easily mesmerized by the automated cranes moving shipping crates from ship to stacks to trucks and vice versa with extraordinary precision. It's speed, it's progress, it's the potential for filling needs and wants on a massive scale. I get a particular feeling of joy when I'm driving through a city and see a business like Big Lebowski's Bowling Pin Supply Company and think, who the heck ever knew that such a business needed to exist? Capitalism does that, naturally. No intervention required. It's not part of any government's 5-year plan, but instead is a reflection of the owner's dreams, the employee's service, and the customer's loyalty. The crux to all of this is a freedom of choice my professor lacked prior to arriving in the United States. It is the freedom for people to create and sell a product or service. The freedom to choose where and for whom to work. The freedom to choose among providers when looking to address a need. It also offers the freedom for people to invest in a company, its leadership, its employees, and its mission. The outcome of all this freedom is value for customers, jobs, tax revenue, and potentially other goodwill initiatives for the community. These freedoms, though, are often competing. The relationship between economic entities is symbiotic, both supplying and receiving value. Entrepreneurs, or business owners, who create and sell products naturally wish to be the only seller within some context, to achieve some minimal ends. Exceptions exist, but sellers strive for some level of market exclusivity in order to meet their own needs and desires. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, wrote Adam Smith in The Wealth of Nations, but from their regard to their own self-interest. Every company, regardless of size, wishes for profitability, growth opportunities, and most important, longevity. The professional worker sells her own services and wants the highest price she can get, and so does not welcome competition. Just as with the business owner, the person who sells the product of their labor must be able to achieve some minimal ends. Tension exists, therefore, between employer and employee for the price of labor.